Science Journal for Kids and Teens presents What Do Parenting and Brain Size Have to Do with Each Other? Read by Miranda Wilson. Abstract. Big brains are useful, but they need time and energy to grow. So why do some animals have big brains and others don't? We looked at 1,176 bird species to see how different things affect brain size. We found that parental provision had the largest impact on brain size. This includes egg size and caring for and feeding babies. We think parental care allowed larger brains to evolve, and not just among birds. This could also explain why human brains are so big. Introduction. Having a big brain can be useful. It can help you think and solve problems. It can also help you figure out relationships and emotions. In fact, humans have really big brains. Lots of other animal species have small brains. It turns out that growing a big brain takes a lot of energy, and they take longer to grow. The energy and time costs may be why there aren't more animals that evolved to have big brains. If it is so hard to grow a big brain, how do animals do it? Well, the biggest need is energy. Sometimes it is hard for young animals to get enough energy on their own. This is where parents can be helpful. Parents can care for young animals and feed them for a long time. This allows young animals to grow big brains in a safe environment. Birds are good animals to investigate this relationship. They are very diverse. Birds live in lots of different places. They eat lots of different things, and they have different lifestyles. The size of their brains also varies a lot. In addition, birds have different levels of maturity when they hatch. Some birds, like chickens, geese, and ostriches, are very mature. They don't need much food or care from their parents. Other birds hatch blind and naked. In other words, they are helpless. Songbirds, parrots, and crows are completely dependent on their parents. Baby birds that are helpless need lots of parental care that can last for weeks or even months. We wanted to explore how all these characteristics in birds related to brain size. Birds that are born blind and naked need more parental care than birds that are born more mature. On the left, you can see examples of birds that are less mature at birth. They include parrots, pelicans, and songbirds. On the right, you can see examples of birds that are more mature at birth. These include chickens, ducks, and rayas. Methods. We found information about 1,176 different bird species. We got the information from handbooks and scientific studies. We wrote down the brain size of our birds. Then we also looked at egg size, the maturity of baby birds, how much parental care they get and for how long, where they live and what they eat, and if they live in groups and how many individuals help raise the babies. We used a model to see if these factors affect brain size in the birds we looked at. We also looked to see if these factors were related to bird evolution. Results. We found that bird species have larger brains if they have larger eggs and fewer of them, are less mature when they hatch, provide care for their babies, feed their babies for longer, do not migrate, and feed in trees instead of on the ground. The first four factors are related to parental care. We found that they have the largest impact on brain size. The last two factors had smaller impacts. We saw that where birds live, what they eat, and how big their groups are did not impact brain size very much. We also saw that the evolution of bird species seems to be related to parental care and brain size. Here in Figure 1, you can see the impact of different factors on brain size. The dashed line at 0 means there was no impact on brain size. Positive means that the brain was larger, and negative means the brain was smaller. For example, birds that hatch more helpless have larger brains, and birds that lay more eggs have smaller brains. On the x-axis, you can see the effect on brain size, with smaller on the left side of the dashed line and bigger on the right side of the dashed line. On the y-axis, you can see the factors that impacted brain size. From the top, they are more helpless at hatching, number of eggs, egg size, time fed, tree feeding, and no migration. Out of all the factors, which one results in the largest brain size? What about the smallest brain size? Discussion. Brains can do great things. We found parental care had the largest impact on brain size. Migration and where birds ate had a smaller impact. Parental care and brain size seem to have evolved with each other. Only species with parental care have larger brains. Fish, amphibians, and reptiles don't have much parental care. They only lay eggs, and they have much smaller brains than birds or mammals. These ideas may relate to our large human brain. Humans have been evolving for several million years. The number of people taking care of babies has increased. The amount of time people take care of children has also increased. More parental care could be related to our own bigger brains. Conclusion. Just like birds, all kids need to get enough food. Starvation can cause brain damage and make it hard for kids to grow. Children also need to get enough nutrients. They can develop disabilities if they don't. Did you know that babies need iron for brain growth? That's just one example. Find out how your city is making sure children get enough food. Check out parent groups or community kitchens. You can also look into vegetable gardens and meal support from your school. Thank you for listening to this recording. This work has been adapted from the original peer-reviewed paper in the journal PNAS, published on January 6, 2023. Research conducted by Michael Greiser, Simon Drobniak, Serena Graber, and Carol von Schack from the Department of Biology at the University of Konstanz in Germany, the Evolution and Ecology Research Center at the University of New South Wales in Australia, and the Department of Anthropology at the University of Zurich in Switzerland. See the full list of affiliations in the accompanying PDF. Please visit our website, sciencejournalforkids.org, for more free science teaching resources.